up in Vermont, and we sell mostly here in the southeast. While we're talking, we are going to pass around a sample. If you want a sample, that's a little bit of our pure Vermont maple syrup, and we will collect the empty cups at the end. And also, we're going to pass around a photo album so you get a better sense of who we are, because we only got 12 minutes. So I'll hand it over to Margaret.
Thank you, Don. Again, I'm Margaret, and I am the other half of Green Mountain Maple. I'm the smart half. So we produce 100% Vermont maple syrup. We also produce maple cream and maple candies, and you're going to be tasting the maple syrup that's passed around right now. We also have a line of merchandise. We have scoots. This is a replica of our 1961 International Harvester Metro. We have shirts with our Metro on it. We have a little craft jar we can maple syrup in, water bottles, and also a canvas bag to carry your maple syrup in. And the canvas maple bag, canvas bags have been printed by one of our FABA members, Big Frog. So we have started a great line of merchandise. So our business focuses on 4 areas of selling. We sell to fairs and festivals, but mostly to home shows. We like to sell. And we sell almost 80% of the farm here in the South. And again, the farm is in Craftsbury, Vermont, which is in northern Vermont, Northeast Kingdom. And it's called Echo Hill Farm. The other part of our program that we're very proud of is that we have a social mission, which includes giving portions of our profit to 3 different nonprofits, 2 in Vermont, 2 in North Carolina, and 1 in Vermont. The United Way in North Carolina, the Working Wheels, which we're just starting to work with. We're going to be giving portions of our profit to them. After finishing up with Atlantic Sky, senior organization, where we help create a music program for seniors. And then in Vermont, Our House, which is a child protection advocacy center for children who have been abused and neglected. So the social mission is really important to us as part of our program. We are the owners, and we'll turn it over to Don because he's going to tell you how maple syrup is made.
Sure. First of all, it's called sugaring, and sugaring actually goes back before we all got here to this continent. Back in northern New England, New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, New York, the Indians were actually doing sugaring before anybody else. They used to slice the sugar maple tree, and the sap would come out, and they would use it, of course, for a sweetener, but they'd also use it to preserve their meat, all right? So what is maple syrup? What exactly is maple syrup? Maple syrup is the boiled down sap of the sugar maple tree. The sugar maple tree is found in abundance in northern New England. There are sugar maples here in the South, but the season isn't right in order to produce, at least commercially, maple syrup. So what happens is that the sap is in the root system of the sugar maple tree, and it's mostly starch. And then when late winter comes and the groundwater mixes with the starch, and it becomes sugar. So how do we make maple syrup? What we do, and I'm going to pass around a couple of examples. These are the old-fashioned taps. Those taps, mid-February, thereabouts, go into the tree. Doesn't harm the tree, goes in just about 1/4 of an inch at an angle. And then the old-fashioned way is we attach this is an old sap bucket. Take that out so we don't make noise. So the bucket gets hooked onto, and you'll see the hook on the sap as it goes around. So late February, as in Vermont, northern New England, as the days get a little bit warmer, maybe around mid-30s, nights are still freezing. Well, that's what we need. As the days start to get warmer, the sap starts to run. That's what we call it. The sap starts to run. In fact, the sap runs up from the root system, and there's a series of canals. We're not getting too detailed about it, but there are a series of canals inside the tree, and the constant thawing and freezing of the tree from daytime to nighttime causes that sap to come out in those taps that you're seeing. This is the new system. You'll see some photographs in the book that's going around. Most of how we produce it is now connected right to the tree through these lines that you can see through, so you can see the sap running, and it goes right into the sugar house. I've got one, I'll pass that around as well. So we go as far into April as we can go, because in Vermont, we get cold weather deep into April, and we need that cold weather in order to continue to sugar. So we'll go as far as we can into April. When the nights and the days continue to just be warm, the trees will bud, and the sap stops running, and we're done. So we'll go as far as we can.
And the other beautiful thing about Vermont maple syrup in Craftsbury, Vermont, is that it's highly regulated by the Department of Agriculture. So that means that we cannot add anything to the product to be able to use this label. We cannot add any water, because a lot of products will add water to make a bigger product. The other thing that this label ensures is that it's not a blend. A lot of the syrup that we get in the stores doesn't mean it's bad, but it is a blend. It's coming from a number of different sources. They're dumping it all into one big vat, and that's how they're producing their maple syrup. If you see down at the bottom of the jug, product of USA in Canada, again, it doesn't mean that it's bad, but it does mean it is a blend. And in Vermont, you cannot blend. We don't want to blend because the same tree puts out 3 different grades of maple syrup. So if you're blending that, it's going to create a different taste. Again, if you're getting that, it doesn't mean it's bad, but it does mean it's like a blend. And it's certainly nothing like some of the syrups you might see, Aunt Jemima, those table syrups. And again, there's no maple syrup in those products. And in Vermont, we have a saying, friends, don't let friends go awful on waffle. So, again, highly regulated, and we want to just let you know that in Vermont, Vermont produces 40% of the U.S. maple syrup that's available, and that's about 1.9 million gallons that was produced in 2018. And we produced at Echo Hill Farm 3,000 of those gallons. Okay, and you're tasting that today.
So Margaret mentioned grades, and that's what we call, you can see the difference in color a little bit from where you're sitting. We produce it, and everybody in Vermont produces it in what we call grades. The beginning of the season, which runs from February maybe to the first week of March, second week of March, and it's not a finite time. The sap produces a lighter, softer maple flavor, and we call that Golden Delicate. What's being passed around is our mid-season. It's a nice transition between the lighter and the end of the season run. So if those are all, if they haven't passed around, feel free to take seconds. So we produce a mid-season, which is called Amber Rich, and that's what you tasted if you did taste. And the end of the season run is a deeper, richer maple flavor called Dark Robust. There's no difference in sugar content. There's no difference in thickness. It's all the same sugar content. In fact, what we do is the sap comes out of the tree. It's about 3% sugar, 97% water. And what we do is we boil off the water to bring it up to a content of sugar just under 67%, which is an industry standard. If you didn't get to see the photographs yet, this is a picture of what we call a sugar house. It's only about 3 years old. And what we do is with the tap that you saw, the rubber one, the plastic one, those lines run right into the sugar house. And that's where we boil it off. And this is it's called an evaporator. Again, there's pictures in the photo album. It's called an evaporator. It's basically a big boiler, and what it's doing is boiling off the water, like I said, to bring it up to 67% sugar, and that's maple syrup.
And just to end, I'm going to give you a quick recipe. So if you, does everyone here like bacon and sausage?
Yeah.
Like that? So if you take a half a tablespoon of our maple syrup, put it in the bottom of the frying pan, swish it around, put your bacon on top, add a little pepper. It is the best maple flavored bacon.
Thank you.
Where can we find your maple syrup?
Sure. Yeah, that's a great question. We sell to about 32 different businesses here in Western North Carolina. Honey and Salt in Flat Rock, Over Easy, Homegrown, Rise and Shine in Asheville. If you want to buy it retail, Hendersonville Co-op, Troyer's Family Market will be at Troyer's Family Market, which is at the Farmers Market. We'll be there on Friday, midday, doing sampling. Number of bed and breakfasts use it to add value to their menu in the morning. And Black Mountain Roots and Fruits. And you can also buy direct from us. We deliver free in the Hendersonville, Asheville area. We'll typically deliver in our 1961 metro.
We'll be at the Sourwood Festival this weekend.
Also be using his man to help us make snack pack deliveries.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. Yeah.
Pick up trying to really get it done on that. Any other questions?
How long have you been making?
The farm has been operating for generations. Way back.
Yeah, and we've been selling in North Carolina since 2012.
And generations your family go back, or?
No, it's a different family that goes way back. Although Margaret is related to people from the Mayflower. Thank you very much.
Right.